Just my take on the Trump movie. We all know that that was staged. The first thing that crosses my mind is how does so many shots happen where nobody executes the target? Well, it's because it's staged and there's a reason. Well, they would probably do like I said, it's necessary to do satanic sacrifice in front of the population. That it's a satanic cult that they're running, that the financial institution is. Um, it goes deeper than just what the obvious is to try to um, maintain absolute control over the organism. It's you can say intergalactic, but it's interdimensional. It's soul level um, spiritual warfare. And but getting back to the little scene there where even the stupidest people are falling succumb to the act, which it's all an act. And see, the main thing is why do you need it? See, the thing is I know why you need it. It's because you don't have a life. You've been see you most people. It's a parasitical situation we're in, and you're getting hollowed out, and you're becoming a host to a parasite. That's what the political arena is just you can't see it, but because it's not about the obvious, but those people are spiritually possessed. They are not human beings. Most of them, right, as you know, are narcissists, your favorite subject matter. But that's just too vague of a word, even to say that it's just the mind, because nobody knows where the fucking mind is. See, but people like you and I, or just people like me, shamans, spiritual leaders, we're here to tell you that there's hosting going on where, no, when the parasite hollows you out, turning you into a host, you become the parasite now. And we can see it around us. I don't know if you know, have experienced it. I've been experiencing it firsthand. Like, wow, this is really happening. That see, if you're not careful, you can become programmed by this. What is it called? I've heard the dark triad. They call it the triad because it's like there's a third party that isn't God and or reality or the truth. It's the programming that it's you can call it the schism, but really it's more parasitical that has installed itself into your mind, and I don't know the half of it. See, because its intelligence is operating from someplace else. You see, we have a backdrop society, and they've been trained by what? What is it, Shauna? Are you crazy? No, you're just lazy. Um, First, there's the religious de-evolution sect of whatever it is, whoever those people are. We say they're aliens, and what's in the word alien is just lies. We say they're lies. They are something that says that misleads us away from everything, especially how we work as human beings. If you have a potential pretty much here to become human, and that's kind of like the school, but not everybody is. They're just kind of hosting to these parasites that are not universal. They are um, not of this universe. They hate it. They hate the laws here. They don't get it. I mean, some of them hate it. Some of them are enemies of it. They want to unplug wherever the connection is, or let's say, see, it's hard to tell. I mean, really, it's as good as a fucking Star Wars movie at the bar scene, where everybody's in the bar. That's what the planet Earth is, and there's so many different creatures at the bar. But in the case of planet Earth, they're borrowing, they say it's borrowing human flesh. But yeah, we don't hear any complaints at the hospital saying, well, this person has showed up with green blood, but there are some things going on that you can call it an imbalance or whatever, but no, really, I mean, where does all the disease come from, really? There is a host inside of the body. The person is now didn't see, we are highly susceptible anyway. We are not, we don't know where we are. I mean, really, if you're if you're really getting to your own curiosity, you begin to go in and try to find that self. And all you have is your awareness, and that is actually it. And it's not any one particular thing except for just a place of observation. It's a point of awareness. And barely getting into this, hardly minute 6. What am I expressing? Well, uh, it's hard to believe that there's a population out there that is voting for presidents still. See, I'm cruising along as just like doing what I don't know what comes naturally as an awake person in this place. What comes naturally is to do the opposite of the first compulsory suggestion, and that's pretty difficult because you start early, like I did. You start very early, like I don't know what age age 6 months. You finally have gotten a little bit established in your body, and you're like, you know what? Me, I'm speaking for myself right now. I was like, you know what? I know exactly what I'm not going to do. It's pretty much all I could do is just dial in on exactly what not to do. I'm not going to do, certainly not going to do that. It would start out with people, right? People trying to be, I hate to say it, but I couldn't get into any of the role playing because I could see how that it wasn't working for them either. They were trying to just, like, where is their humanness? And now it's just like this funky game of, please try to find your way, through all of the damages that are I don't know, through all of the maze that's happening of posturing, of posing, of falsities, right? What is this place? That's what I mean as a kid, and I'm still like, so the first thing, just like with the Gwyn Tower thing. See, I didn't see it live, but when I saw the Trump stage thing, many questions would come up. First of all, that they missed. Why would they miss people that take the time to bust security down? And he's heavily secured. That was. Get that out of the way. That was an act. That wasn't a random thing going on. They're trying to do something. Here's what they're doing with it. I can tell you. Just like what they did with Greta. Do you remember Greta and that whole scene? See, they continue to try to do this, and they want to continue to centralize a point of attention for the organism, get more people drawn in. Even Ralph Smart, who is barely queuing on, like he didn't predict it 9 months ago. Don't you remember that people like us already said, no, it's hard to believe that they won't try to do an assassination against the one president who is being an egotistical maniac or whatever, but really just they have somebody there to try to get people into their senses on purpose. Because if you're not fully sovereign, you'll try to fight for those senses, and it's like, what senses? You're being dragged into something that sucks your perception so far in that you forget your fucking senses. That's the problem. It's like there is a suggestion to not get so caught up into it, but then again, there's a suggestion, I'm sure it's out in the West. I mean, really, it's a big problem. At least get into your body. At least turn your eyes on. At least turn your eyeballs on and start listening and start taking responsibility for that aperture that you are. Your presence here. Try to become present through using your senses. Become a witness. There's other people around. See, you don't want to make the dark triad the one that comes in from the inside out, the one that controls your mind to become an enemy of what? Of the other side, which is to get into your senses. And what can we do? We can really threaten the fucking establishment is what we can do by just what? Saying, you know what? Fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. Fuck all of that. What's the most important thing? There's 3 things to lock down here, and we ain't got it, hardly any of it. Even if you have some of it, you don't know what the fuck you're doing with it. Do you notice how hard it is to own land without becoming completely obscured. You have nothing to do with the population that owns land. They are egos. They are doing what? They don't have time for it, first of all. They don't even know how to relax. Are they on Earth relaxing and benefiting from the fountain of energy that the dirt can actually be when it's interacting with the sun and you use seeds and put it in the ground? And then what about the water? Did you lock down good water? Three things: stable land, water, and then get your food going. If you have lost sight of those three things on a daily basis and you don't look each other, a tribe, in the eye and say, wow, and handing each other zucchinis and old fruits and celebrating the proper seasonal ceremonies, which is just that. In December, in the middle of winter, you're grateful for having seen the sun come up. Now, there's a promise that there could be another spring. What you do is you get in your hampers and you start getting your the fruits of your labor out, which is like your dried fruits in the middle of winter. You celebrate very humbly. You give those gifts to each other and more. It's not always about eating. It's about sharing the wealth of what you contribute back into it. You're not waiting for a goddamn politician. See, I don't doubt that technology, the way that it centralizes our attention and pulls it in through electricity, can actually help us here, but it certainly hasn't been proving. We see a flattening down of IQ and also the environment, and yeah, keep cutting down those big trees, you stupid fucking idiots. The ones that grow past the age 300, even 600 years old, you have no business cutting those down. Nope. Only if you are just saying, nah, we aren't the crew that cares for our intellectual property, our IQ level. We don't maintain history through logs.